The man who has led one of the most esteemed fire departments in the entire country is retiring. After serving the citizens of Clark County for more than 3 decades, Chief Steve Smith reflects back on his career. Chief, you've risen up the figurative Clark County fire ladder. You've been a firefighter, a paramedic, an engineer, a battalion chief, fire captain, now chief. You've led the #1, the largest department in Nevada.
In Nevada.
Must
correct.
be quite an honor for you.
It was, and the day that I was appointed, I just couldn't. I was overwhelmed by having the opportunity to lead a fine organization as Clark County Fire Department, and again, they're just truly talented and truly committed fire professionals in the community.
And in 31 years, in some ways you say it's gone just like that. I know one of the most historic events was you were part of was the MGM Fire back in 1980. That must have been some way to be thrown into firefighting early in your career.
Yes, I remember the first day when I was hired, and I remember that day. I remember the Hilton, and you know, when you have those in your first year as a firefighter, you think, man, this is the right job for me, you know, because you came on with, you're always that risk factor and the excitement, the adrenaline of being able to go in and, you know, change people's lives, help them in their time of need. So.
And I think it's been interesting, obviously, Chief, you know, that horrific day, both the MGM Fire and the Las Vegas Hilton Fire, MGM 87 dead, almost 700 injured. It has really changed the way and the standards of high rises and how fire prevention inspections are done on the Las Vegas Strip now.
Not only the Las Vegas Strip, but they changed national codes. Those two fires really influenced a building code and fire code nationally and internationally. So out of tragedy, a benefit was given to the visitors of Clark County.
And coming a little bit sooner, maybe back in 2008, there was a Monte Carlo fire, obviously not any injuries or something. It was some foam and resin sparked by a welder's torch, I believe, up on the rooftop there. And here's a quote from you, Chief. There was no panic. I don't want to say this was a normal operation, but this is what we train for. We practice high-rise tactics. That's so true.
And it is, and what we've done in my term or tenure as the fire chief is we've worked more closely with the other Valley Fire Departments because we realized that Clark County Fire Department can't handle a major emergency by ourselves because we still have to maintain service to the remainder of the community while we have this major incident going. So we had practiced high-rise firefighting with the other agencies just the month before. So again, we were very fortunate that we had that training, and it went as prescribed through our SOPs. And again, it looked very dangerous as far as the fire went, but our personnel did a great job. But also you have to remember that the fire safety systems that were built in operated and functioned as designed.
Chief, there's 29 full-time fire stations now, 13 volunteer fire stations. Lately, a lot of the new fire stations that have come on board have been a different type of construction, you know, combination of either through the Las Vegas Convention Visitors Authority, some casinos have helped. How has that changed as far as developing and building fire stations, the actual economics of them?
Well, what we had to do is we had to build those community partnerships, corporate partnerships with these people, because if you look along the resort corridor, when City Center was being built, during that time it was land values were estimated at $25 million an acre. So there was no way that our budget could afford a fire station in a resort corridor. And if you look at where Station 32 is, that's one of the highest demand areas within the resort corridor. So we knew that we needed a fire station there. So by developing that relationship with MGM and being able to convince them of the need and the value that they would gain by having a fire station within their complex over there, but it's also surrounded by other MGM properties, the value and, again, customer care that we'd be able to provide, they came along as willing partners and provided us they built the fire station and then gave us an engine and a rescue for that station. And then the other partnership that we had with the Convention Authority was leasing the land along the resort corridor again, and we built the fire station, but it's a larger complex, and we're also able to help them by housing fire prevention personnel at that station. So they have a direct connection with the fire department instead of having to come over to our main station.
Chief, I think obviously most people's thought of a firefighter is someone fighting a fire, but obviously you have many other departments, and you also have lent your personnel, deployed your personnel to numerous tragedies from the World Trade Center and Hurricane Katrina and nearly any large-scale force, any fire that happens in the Southwest. That's just part of the kinship, part of what firefighting and what departments do, correct?
That's right, and that's what some of the things that you don't see or the community doesn't see is all they see is the fire truck, our big yellow fire truck that goes down the street. But we also have a very, like I said, talented, knowledgeable fire prevention staff. Our volunteers go out into other communities and provide wildland firefighting assistance. We also are part of the Nevada Task Force Urban Search and Rescue Team. So there's many other tentacles where the Clark County Fire Department is active not only locally but at the state level and then regional and national levels.
So obviously search and rescues, other extrications, one of only 28 urban search and rescue departments in the entire country.
That's correct. And what we did again during my administration was that previously it had been mainly covered by Clark County fire personnel and some civilians, and we took the idea that it should be a more regional or valley-wide, because the more personnel you have trained at these special type rescues, then you'll have the community be better protected. So we invited the other agencies to participate with us. So now we have more than just Clark County Fire personnel trained at this special rescue type of training, and they'll be able to, if we have a major event here, we'll have more trained people to handle those emergencies.
Chief, what's been your proudest moment in your five or so years as chief? What has been the proudest accomplishment that yourself or the department has done in that time?
Well, I can't say there's one thing. There are many. And when I took the position of fire chief, I didn't just come and say, hey, it's great to have 5 bugles on my collar and we're just going to march on down the field. I understood there was a lot of needs that we saw up through the 25 years previous to me becoming fire chief. And we definitely understood that there was a need along the resort corridor to get more capacity to put units and people to provide that emergency care along the resort corridor. But we also knew that we had to have growth pay for growth. So in our fire prevention area, we didn't have an adequate staff to do all the projects that were coming, that were projected to happen during that time frame. So we were able to staff our fire prevention group up to appropriate levels, so we meet an industry accepted timeline as far as plan review and inspection. So, and then there was other areas where we had numerous fire stations that were over 30 years old, so we were able to replace those, and we have the remainder that are in the planning stages now. And if we look at those as to help the community, and outside of the fire department, they're built by private contractors, so it's helping the local community to also create jobs.
Chief, obviously there's a different mindset and a different skill set from being a firefighter to being the fire chief, and I think you touched on that during one of your opening press conferences. Let's take a listen to that right now.
I also realize that the tools of a fire chief are different than the tools of a firefighter. A firefighter by nature wants to react quickly, is impatient, they want to get in, they want to take care of the issue, and then they want to save lives. As a fire chief, I've had to learn patience.
When you see your words from 5 years ago, what do you think?
I've learned patience, but also we still are driven. We're driven by success. That's the one thing about a firefighter. You can take me out of the blue shirt and put me into the white shirt. I'm still driven to say success. And success means you completed your mission, and that's the goals that I set for the department and for myself when I was appointed. We stayed focused on those, and it may seem like it was seamless, but we stayed very driven to ensure that we completed all the programs that I thought were needed at that time.
So obviously the Clark County Fire Department is still in very good hands, and you're leaving it better than you left it.
I consider it so, and I'm very fortunate to have been able to have the resources to do the programs that we had when I was appointed to fire chief. You know, we were able to include the members of the fire department, and they're very cooperative. I mean, you look at change and people resist change. not to the extremes, but you have to convince them that, hey, this is really for your benefit and the community's benefit, and we were able to do that, and they understood our vision and, again, embraced it and went along with it. And again, you know, through communication with them, sometimes it didn't look the same as what we started with, but that's what we told them in when I accepted the position too, is that, hey, we'll start. I'm not always right. Your input will make sure that we go in the right direction after we have that talk and we agree and move on.
And now as you head into retirement, your wife, 3 children, I'm sure you're happy to shift gears a little bit here.
Well, you always wonder what the future has in store, but the partnership that I have out in the community, I have with my wife too, and all along through the promotional process, I said whenever she wasn't comfortable with it, she could tell me and we'd be done with it. And she supported me over the 5 years. She supported the fire department over the 5 years, and she has an opportunity now to go out and pursue her career goals, and I want to support her with those.
And I know you've been in semi-retirement. We've played ice hockey together a few times, and any chance of getting out of semi-retirement and getting back out there on the ice to play a little hockey, Chief?
You know, once you have a little time and you have a little clear thought, there's always potential for anything. So I look forward to being able to go out in the community a little more active and just not totally focus on the fire department.
Well, it's been an honor to work alongside you, and you've done a tremendous job for Clark County. And as you head into retirement, I know all of us here at Clark County wish you the best, and you've done a terrific job, Chief.
You know, again, I appreciate it, and I appreciate the support of the county management team and the Board of County Commissioners, but also I'm very thankful for the community to support the fire department in my 31 years as a member of the finest fire department in Nevada.